Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is realized by pure devotee who acts in the transcendental existence of Bhakti Yoga. He is a bestower of uncontaminated happiness and is the master of the transcendental world. Therefore, I offer my respect unto him. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be understood only by devotional service. Bhaktiya mam abhijananti yavanyasya tattvataha. Even if one wants to know the Supreme Personality of Godhead in truth, one must take to the activities of devotional service. These activities are called sattva or shuddha sattva. In the material world, activities of goodness, which are symptomatic of pure brahmana, are appreciated. But the activities of devotional service are shuddha sattva. In other words, they are on the transcendental platform. Only by devotional service can one understand the Supreme. Devotional service is called naiskarmya. Mere negation of material activity will not endure. Naiskarmyam api achyutta bhavam bhajitam. Unless one performs activities with reference to Krishna consciousness, cessation of material activities will not be helpful. In the hopes of achieving naiskarmya, freedom from material action, many highly elevated sannyasis stopped their activities, yet they failed and returned to the material platform to act as materialistic persons. But once one is engaged in the spiritual activities of Bhakti Yoga, one does not fall down. Our Krishna consciousness movement is therefore an attempt to engage everyone always in spiritual activity, by which one becomes transcendental to material actions. The spiritual activities of Bhakti Yoga, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, lead one to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, as stated here, Sattvena Pratilabhaya Naiskarmenya Vipashchita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is realized by pure devotees who act in the transcendental existence of Bhakti Yoga. The Gopala Tapani Upanishad 15 says, Bhaktilyasya Bhadanam Tat Iha Multro Padi Naiskarmya Aiva Mushmin Manasta Kalpanam Etat Evacha Naiskarmyam. This is a definition of naiskarmya. One acts in naiskarmya when he fully engages in Krishna conscious activities without material desires to enjoy, either here or in the upper planetary system, in the present life or in the future life. Iha amutra. Anya vilashita sunyam. When one is freed from all contamination and he acts in devotional service under the direction of the spiritual master, when he is on the platform of naiskarmya. By such transcendental devotional service, the Lord is served. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Jnana Timandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Miltam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you all for coming for my Bhagavatam class. Before I say anything, I would like to seek your blessing and proper disciples' blessing. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So this verse and purport describes our devotional service. Such an elaborate purport. What can I say further? I prepared to the class, but this morning, some incident happened. So that kind of it changed structure of this class. Yes? I'll show you one picture. Maybe come close. Come close. I have to show you a picture. Because we have to see this picture in order to grasp what happened. Yeah. Okay. It's very nice. So, picture is this. Have a look at this picture. It's not Govardhan Hill. Can you see what it is? Yeah, crocodile. This is a crocodile. Can you see? Yeah, this is. Can you see this one? This is the crocodile. Yeah. Can you see the crocodile? Yeah, buffalo. Crocodile trying to eat the buffalo, basically. Yeah, this picture. Can you see this? Yes. So, the reason I brought this picture is that it's perfectly related to our subject, Gajandra's prayers. You can stay here. You don't need to go back. Yeah, please sit. Yeah, please here. A more kind of friendly. So, Gajendra went to this reservoir, which is a beautiful reservoir. But there he was beaten by a crocodile. It happens in material world exactly the same way. In Africa, yes, very hot, and then the source of life is water. So without water, they cannot survive. So they go for the source of life. But the same source of life can take your life away too. This is the material world. People enjoy, but the same enjoyment actually they make you suffer like hell. So, I have a vehicle to come to temple, and I have a vehicle to go to my home. So this vehicle has 8 wheels. Normally other vehicle has 4 wheels. It's a roller skate. So normally when I come by roller skate, I kind of enjoy, yes, and give some exercise. But last night it rained, and this morning so cold, everything was ice on the road. I couldn't skate properly. Oh my God, this just kind of turning to roller skate, turning to ice skate. But road is uneven, so otherly I couldn't skate. So down there is the sandy lane. It's uphill. Struggling. Oh, how can I do? So I decided if I go like this, I won't go uphill. So I went to the walking path. So rather than skating, I was walking. And then with the heavy skate, I was struggling one step, another step. And then all of a sudden, one van came along and it stopped. And then the driver of the van opened the door. Do you want a lift? I said, yes, thank you. And that was a football life van. Parashuram Babu, thank you very much. So the Parashuram Babu gave me a lift. And in that van, we had a brief discussion about life. And then he gave me kind of insight. That he said, within this life, within our own lifetime, there will be catastrophe. There will be catastrophe. Big disaster. Yes? So now, in olden days, for example, the First War and the Second War, somehow we go through it. Why? Because we are not used to this much comfort. Think about the comfort we are enjoying now. Hot water in the winter. Yeah? And the warm kind of heating system. And also wherever you go, if you go to Tesco, everything on the article shelves. So all you need to do is just pick it up. Yeah? But when catastrophe comes, then first thing they do, they control the petrol. So wherever you go, you have to either walk or run or maybe cycling in this cold weather. And then, not only that, whatever things on the store, it goes to somehow the control unit. So you'll be kind of rationed to get what you want. So wherever you go, you have to have long queue. the suffering we may go through will be hellish. Why? Because we are not used to austere life. In olden days, lifestyle is molded in a way that we are accustomed to deal with nature. But nowadays, we don't want to deal with nature. Basically, winter time, we want to be warm. Summertime, we want to be cold. Yes? This is our lifestyle. Prabhupada said, came to England. It's very strange. England, as soon as they feel cold, they turn the heating up. But in India, when they feel cold, they put one more chador up. How simple they are. Huh? Now, we are going through this. So here, so life is like this. But I'll tell you one more thing. It's more fierce than this crocodile. In Padma Purana, there is a glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam. It says here, Samsara Sagare Magnam. I have fallen into the ocean of repeated birth and death. Samsara, repeated birth and death. Sagara means the ocean. I've fallen into this ocean of repeated birth and death. And then, Dinam Mam Karunadide. I'm totally distressed. Why? There's something more fearsome than this crocodile. Karma Griya Grihitangam. My karma is like a crocodile, ready to bite me. So, Padma Purana compares our karma like crocodile. Once you take a birth, you have to go through your karma. You are destined. The other day I was listening to a lecture that somehow or other, if you cheat, yes, then you have to pay 4 times. It's written in the Shastra. You have to pay 4 times. So, due to certain activity, we took birth. And then, whatever we go through suffering, maybe we are paying off what we have done wrong in the previous life.
But you say we have to pay
4 times.
4 times?
If you cheat.
If you cheat.
Yeah. And then here, Mamudava Baba Nabar. And then, oh, ocean of mercy, please pick me up from the ocean of material existence. This is a prayer from Padma Purana. And then Srimad Bhagavata Kyoyam Prataksha Krishna Evahi. This is a key thing comes. This Srimad Bhagavatam is actually Krishna himself. Prataksha means direct perception, direct. Prataksha Krishna Evahi. And Srikrito Siti Maya Nata Mutyaltam Bhavasagare. O my Lord, to get released from this cycle of birth and death, I have taken shelter of your lotus feet. So, for us, we have a shelter, Srimad Bhagavatam, to get out of this material world. But people outside, they don't have any shelter. For us, we understand, if we go through suffering, we understand why we are going through suffering. But people outside, they don't understand why they are suffering. They constantly blame either government or either some other living entity who caused that suffering. So, as soon as we point direction to outside rather than us, then the suffering multiplies. And then the suffering cannot be resolved. How can you blame that it's cold if you feel cold? Yeah? How can you blame this winter? This is a natural course of the nature. But somehow or other, if you point whatever suffering you go through, whatever difficulty you go through, towards you, then there is a solution. If you change, whole world will change. So what makes us change? Consciousness. How to have, we have important to have right consciousness. How to do it? By reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And then by coming to Bhagavatam class and Bhagavata class. So originally I planned today Srimad Bhagavatam class by analyzing devotional service through scientific method. So in general, people sometimes when they are in trouble, somehow they're trying to lie to get out of the situation. So they give different excuses. But that excuses actually prove them they have done wrong. They concoct some idea, to get out of situation. But when you listen to that, actually that proves that he was guilty. It's like that. So, scientific world, they trying to do anything to prove that there is no God. So whatever happening in the material world, it's a natural phenomena which has nothing to do with God. That's their tendency. So, out of so many scientific theory and law, so I picked up one thing. It's thermodynamics. Yeah, thermodynamics, yes. So who knows the first law of thermodynamics? You can't remember. You learned on the school. Yes. Yes, energy never lost. And what is second law of thermodynamics? Increase of disorder, which means increase of disorder, degree of disorder, entropy. Do you have heard entropy? Entropy always increases. Entropy means degree of disorder. For example, you cook wonderful prashadam, yes, in the morning. That's what we are all waiting for. But if you leave there for 3 days, then you won't be able to eat it. Now this room is clean, this temple room is clean, but if you don't clean, if you leave it as it is, dust comes and then getting messier and messier. So anything you buy, product, for example, any electric goods, or whatever you may think of, you buy it, and then gradually it diminishes the quality. This is called disorder. So second law of thermodynamics is that the degree of disorder, which means the entropy, will increase. So this, what they are saying, but it's already in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is, the title of 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam. So Vidya means knowledge, Raj means king, king of knowledge and king of all the secrets. Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam. And then after that 9th chapter, Krishna says something interesting to Arjuna. Bhuya eva mahabaho Srininume paramam vacha. I'm going to tell you something further, something more secret or higher than this knowledge. Bhuya eva mahabhao Srininume. Listen to me. Paramam vacha. I'm going to speak. My speech, paramam vacha. Topmost speech. And then he says that Bhuya eva mahabhao Srininume paramam vacha. Yateham priyahime. So yateham, I'm going to speak unto you. Why? Priya manaya. Because you are priya. Priya means very dear to me. You're my darling, basically. And then bhakshami hita kamnyaya. So I'm going to speak because you are very to me. You are very dear to me. And hita kamnyaya. Hita kamnyaya means for your benefit. So this is how it starts. What they call 10th chapter. So that's why in 10th chapter there are 4 verses. It's called Chatur Sloki of Bhagavad Gita, which starts 10:8. What is that? Am salvasya prabhavu, matta salvam prabhavtate. And then? Okay, could you loud please, third line? Prabhavu. Iti matva bhajante mam buddhabhava samamita. Yeah. So I'm source of everything. I'm salvasya prabhavu. And then it goes on and on and on. And then Chatur Sloki of Bhagavad Gita ends in the 11th verse. Tesham eva anukampartam You need to show special mercy. Aham agyajam tamha. So I have to destroy your ignorance. And then Krishna destroys Arjuna's ignorance by jnana dipena shasvata, by the shining lamp of knowledge. Yes. And then Arjuna surrendered. Okay. Paramdhama, Paramdhama, like that. So it goes like that. So you are a supreme person. And then Arjuna asked a very interesting question. He says, "Oh Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Here now, O Krishna, supreme mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? How shall I know you?" So Prabhupada said, fundamental, the essence of all Vedic literature is always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So Arjuna questioned exactly the same thing. How shall I think of you constantly? So who can tell me what Krishna says? What's the answer of Krishna? Bhagavad Gita is ABCD. We have to know Bhagavad Gita. Krishna answered quite interesting way. No, that comes much later. Mammarabhav, Madhbhakto, Matyaji, Nam Skuri. It comes much later. Yes, tell me. Yes. Question, how shall I constantly think of you? Because you are supreme, yes. What Krishna's answer? Yeah, Krishna says many things. Yes, Krishna think about form. Yes, yes. Yeah. First thing Krishna says that Aham Atma Kuda Kesha Salva Bhuttasya Stitaha. I'm the super soul. So, in order to constantly think of me, first of all, everyone has super soul. Basically, in everyone's heart there is Krishna. So you have to think about this one. And the next thing is, I am beginning and the middle and the end of all things. So this is how we can think of Krishna all the time. Whatever happened in the material world, there is a beginning. Somebody joined Hare Krishna movement and they are staying here. Or you turn the music on, there is a beginning and there is middle, and then you sometimes turn it off, the music. So, in this way, yes, the second law of thermodynamics, it says that whatever there is something, then there is a beginning, and then there is a degree of disorder increases, and then it destructed. So this is the key thing about thermodynamics. But Krishna says here already, I'm the beginning, I'm the middle, I'm the ending. That's why we say Kali Yuga. Something goes wrong and we say, hey, Kali Yuga. Have you ever seen someone who's getting younger and younger and younger? It's like that. So whatever we see, something going towards which is not desirable. This is the nature of this material world. Yes? So that then what it stops our disorder is the discipline. And then, furthermore, our devotional service. If you engage in any devotional service, it goes against this, what they call, natural disorder. So as soon as you finish class, somebody sweep this floor. So it stops getting messier and messier. So the glorious devotional service is like that. Krishna says that I will always remember what you have done. And then we will start from there. If you can't make it to Goloka Vrindavan within this very lifetime. We somehow or other, sometimes we just go through it without noticing all this aspect. So day in, day out, we just come along and eat prasadam and then doing this. But sometimes we feel that, am I doing really devotional service? Am I making really progress? Sometimes we do question ourselves. But remember this. Sometimes it looks like I'm stagnant. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not improving much. Yeah? But listen to this. It looks like we are sit quietly here, but the earth is spinning around. You know how fast it is? Anyone knows? It's spinning around 1,000 miles an hour. So, you know how to measure is, for example, equator. So if you are standing on the equator, and then you are, for example, you are standing on the equator, and somehow you are above the equator, you are looking at the equator. So it's spinning around. So, 자, 실실 라다 고kulanda ki, 자, 시타람 laksamahana ki, 자, 실실 고라네타 ki, 자. The what do you call the circumference? Circumference of equator is that 25,000 miles. So it takes about 1 day if you once start spinning and then comes to the same position. It takes 1 day. So if you calculate then, you understand the speed of the spinning. Not only that, we are moving around the sun. I mentioned before, you know, how fast it is? I wrote here. 67,000 miles per hour. Can you imagine? Sometimes we are in a rush, you're driving our car really fast, and then 100 miles an hour. Oh, Babu, you stop. You know, Prabhupada said, if you go over 70 miles an hour, Krishna leaves it from the house, from the car. Krishna will not protect you anymore. Like that. So if you go just going for 100 miles an hour, you feel so much speed, but this earth moving around 67 miles per hour. So basically, we are not aware of it, but we are rushing into the depths. We are rushing. But devotional service, somehow or other, we won't stop. It will stop our depths. Maybe physically our body will diminish, but our spirit and our devotion will continue. So this is called, if you see that, this is called pragya, is intelligence. Prabhupada said, upaya chintayat pragya, apaya chintayat. One who has intelligence, they see both sides. Sometimes people open the business, they see only how I'm going to make a profit. They see the profit side of it. They see only good side of it. They don't see another side of it. They may go, sometimes burglar comes, they may some fire or whatever. In this way, upaya chintayat, apaya chintayat pragya, apaya chintayat. So, devotional service put a stop to this aging process. Actually, we are preparing spiritual body, which never diminishes. So one devotee gave a wonderful example. So a few of you may be planning to go to India next year sometime. Yes? Let's say you bought a ticket in March. So you got a ticket in your hand, but what do you do now? What do you do tomorrow? You'll do exactly the same thing. You'll do exactly the same thing. Get up early morning, go to Monglarti, or eat Prasadam, Sankirtan. But after 3 months, the day comes, you won't be here anymore. You'll be on the flight, you go to India. So, we do devotional service. It looks like we're doing the same thing, nothing happened. Still, when I'm angry. So still sometimes says something, I get disturbed. I'm not improving myself much. But if you still engage in devotional service, and at the time comes that you have to leave, then Krishna, according to your consciousness, how much you are attached to Krishna, Krishna will take care of you. Basically, you have to think, the moment you take up devotional service, you are buying the ticket for spiritual world. Yes? You may do the same thing, but remember, ticket is in our hand, in our pocket. Would you like that? Yes. And then, this is the first law of thermodynamics. The energy never changes. So now people is worried about petroleum. Yes, petroleum is running out. Yes, too many cars on the road. But actually, petroleum never runs out. Why? only transformed into pollution. Basically, when you burn anything, let's say you burn this table, then it has a fire and then it turns into ashes. We say that this is destroyed. We say it's disappeared now. But with our eyes, it disappeared. But actually, the elements transform into different element. It's like that. So, devotional service is also the same thing. Once we performed, then maybe later on, maybe sometimes we see the devotees that they can't handle the ashram life, and then all of a sudden they got into Maya, and then they go so many things. But we say, oh, he's fallen, he polluted. But no. Whatever he has done, Krishna remembers. It doesn't disappear. Once you put something in Krishna's bank account, nobody can take it out. It's quite safe. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Nasato pitate bhavo, nabhavo pitate sata. Upayor api drishtantes, tu anyos tattva talsivi. Nasato pitate bhavo. Asat. What is not there, you can't create. You cannot create the material elements. You cannot create. People think, oh, I created this. No, you can't create. And also, nabhavo pitate sata. Sata, what is already existence, you cannot destroy that. Bhagavad Gita says that, which confirms the first law of thermodynamics. So that's why Krishna says, Tadaham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatamana. Whatever you do, Tadaham bhakti uparitam. With bhakti, with your love, you do it. Why? Because ultimately, I don't need anything in this material. Because Sarva Loka Mahishivaram. I'm the supreme controller. I'm the owner of everything. Bhava Grai Janardana. Whatever I accept is your mood, your attitude, your love. That I accept. So, this is the glory of devotional service. In order to perform devotional service nicely, what do you need to do? You need to eat nicely. Isn't it? with the belly is empty, how can you perform devotional service? So, as my main service is related to the kitchen, again, I say something interesting to your ear. So, last time I gave class regarding the food, yes? A lot of people questioning, Babu, where is it from? Is it your concoction or where have you heard? So I got the evidence here from Chandogya Upanishad, section 5. Annam ashtam, before you do that, before I say that actually, something interesting quote I want to give you. The mind consists of food, breath consists of water, speech consists of heat. Pancha endriya purushasya yadeva shat anavritam tadasya pragya sravati drite pada ivodakam. Listen carefully this. When the mind of a person consisting of 5 senses is not supported by food, then his intelligence goes away. As if the water flows away from the mouth of water bag. So, what you eat is very, very important. And that's why we're trying to make nice prasadam as much as we can. So, and also furthermore, there's a detailed aspect to it. So because of the time, so I skipped what you call Sanskrit. So, food, annam, whatever you eat, gross form turning into stool, subtle form turning into flesh, and then the essence of that food turning into, I just said, mind, yes, food turning into mind. Food consists of mind, yes. And then water, whatever you drink, yes, either with juice or whatever. Water, gross form turning into urine, and subtle form turning into blood. Yeah, subtle form turning into blood, and then essence of that drink turning into. You see, Carl, you got memory. Breath, turning into breath. So you may question, what is it, the essence? What do you mean by essence? I understand the kind of gross part. I understand the, what they call subtle part. What do you mean essence? When bee collects honey, it visits different flowers. Yeah. Each flower is a flavor. But when coming to the honey, all the essence of that flower is turning into honey. That means essence. Yes? Remember that. So food turning into mind, and then drink turning into our breath. And then heat, tejas. Whatever food, whatever drink, it has certain temperature. Yes? And this heat, gross form turning into, what is that? Bone. Yeah. Bone. The inside the bone. And the subtle form turning into bone marrow. Yeah. Essence of that heat turning into speech. Yeah, speech. That's why frozen food is no good. Yes? Again? Don't eat ice cream, yeah? Ice cream is not natural food. Prabhupada said that spiritual world there is no snow. Someone devotee asked him, Prabhupada, spiritual world there is everything. Is there snow also there? Prabhupada said, no, there is no snow. And devotee asked, why? Why? Why there is no snow in spiritual world?
Is it hot or it's not hot there? So they don't have any cold drinks?
Anyway, I don't know exactly because I have not been there. Yeah. No, Prabhupada said there is no snow. Why? Because it's a nuisance. Yeah, Prabhupada said it's a nuisance. Nuisance. Yeah, sorry for my English. It's a nuisance. Yes, nuisance. So, the reason I'm saying is that there are always subtle aspect to it, whatever you do. Yes? And also, the food turning into our mind. So in this way, now you have to respect cook also, yes? And you have to respect our kitchen also. Yeah? Before you come, you make arrangement, yeah? Ring first, rather than just walking in. Yes? And in this way, we do harmonious service. Is there any question? Is it nearly Purushottam time? Yeah, please.
Does this also explain why Vacho Vegam minus Krodha Vegam?
Yes.
If you overeat luxurious foods, other senses become disturbed because your mind is now agitated, more lusty desire.
Thank you for comment. Good comment. Yes. It has to do with the Rupa Goswami instruction is, in one sense, is very, very closely related to this Upanishad said. But interestingly enough, all this said, Krishna said in one verse in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna said, Aham Vaishnavaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha Prana Apana Samayukta Pachami Annam Chaturvidaha. So this process, Krishna explains. Pachami annam chaturvida. So annam means food. There are 4 types of food. Pachami, I digest. Sometimes we feel, oh, I ate too much, I need a digestion pill. So if we eat digestion pill, oh, now I feel happy. So digestion pill digests that food. We eat things like that, but no. Krishna said, Pachami annam chaturvida. I digest that. How I'm going to digest? Prana apana samayukta. Prana, by controlling your air in your body, outgoing air and coming in air, breathe in, breathe out, I control that. And then, ultimately, by controlling that air, actually, Krishna's, the fire in the stomach, Vaishnavaro, I'm that fire. So without that fire, you can't even digest the food. So Krishna, in one sense, he condensed this Upanishad verse in one verse in Bhagavad Gita, so that it explains, so that you remember. So then let me ask you a question. Food, water, and the heat, what is most important out of three things? Yes, heat. Why? Because annam, food, cannot exist without water. And also this water cannot exist without heat. According to Sankhya philosophy, water comes from heat, fire. Scientists cannot figure it out. But for the devotee, it's easy to figure it out. Water comes from fire. Why? Because when we dance up and down, we sweat. So fire creates water. Isn't it? So for a devotee, everything is easy. For scientists, everything is complicated. Yeah. Any other question? Yes, Mataji.
I haven't a question, but I was in the university a few weeks back in the research part, and the NHS report says that Chinese people in your community has the least illness in this country, and that is due to your understanding of your diet and the way you live.
Yeah.
So I think it's wonderful to hear from you. What you are saying is really, you know, there is a living proof in this country saying that it works.
Yes, in England, NHS has some problem. So I heard also so many people on sick benefit. And also out of sick benefit, those people who are on the sick benefit, a lot of them, they are too sick to work or anything. So in this country, NHS is failing to look after people's health. But as you say, Chinese people, including Korean or Japanese, their lifestyle is more friendly with nature. Ultimately, who invented the car? Ford, isn't it? And then who invented the steam system? Is eventually, beginning is that they invented in England the car, which goes nicely, and then you went to America, it put the gear in it. It's turning into a proper car. They created this wonderful kind of a machine, but actually making people sick more and more. Why? Wherever they go, they just turn the key on rather than working. You come on the Sunday, they're trying to park as close as possible to the temple. Everywhere you go, and Tesco or Azar, so the close place is reserved for disabled. And then from that on, car park field. And then further away, hardly any cars. It's like that. People, nature is like that. So our lifestyle is somehow harder. We like a bit more nature, so we walk more. And then we eat also kind of, rather than the processed food, we eat more or less general. My father told me, thanks for reminding me, my father told me once, you eat wherever you go, trying to eat whatever produced within 1 mile radius. Now if you go to Tesco, the orange coming from Brazil, this from the New Zealand, this from the Australia, all of the place. Then, to transfer from Brazil to England, they use transport as the ship, not the airplane, because it costs too much. So basically sitting at the bottom of the big ship, at for 2 months they're sitting. And then come on, offload it, and then we eat it. So we think, it's fresh because it's from the fridge. No, it's not fresh at all. So trying to buy British apple rather than apple from the Spain. Although sometimes it doesn't look presentable, but better to buy British apple and better to buy British potatoes. Everything local is best. So still I have in mind. But Bhakti manner is wonderful. Yesterday you had a meti with potato sabji. This meti is organic, homegrown. It's from our own garden. And potato also. Did you like prasada?
Yeah, I mean, I had it.
Mm.
Had it cold because I couldn't take the first of all.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, still very nice. And then our potato also is very a bit ugly compared to other potato because we don't put any pesticide, so a lot of worms goes inside the potato, so it's like that. But when you buy food, there is a worm in it. Actually, people return it. If there is a worm inside the potato or apple, we return it. But actually, that apple or potato is better. Why? Because it's not contaminated by pesticide. That's why worm can enter it. Yes. So our potato basically is so much dirty things. We have to kind of throwing half of them. Because I asked the farmer, the devotee, Papa, is potato is too difficult. It too time consuming. If you like, I can put pesticide. I can kill all the germs like outside. Would you like that? Would you like that? I said, I was thinking, no, carry on as you go. Yeah. So in Manor we have milk from our own cows, and potato from. In the summertime we have spinach and lettuce and coriander. Not only 1 mile, it's just a few hundred meters. So it's the best healthy lifestyle as a devotee. How nice it is. Of course, it should be more variety, but you can't do everything. Yeah. So, enjoy devotional service. Yes? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vidai Gaura Hare Hare.